Mr. Josh Harms, thank you for coming down to Guitars Plus. We're going to be doing just a quick chat today because you're going to be the first interview we've had on the new channel down here at the shop.
I'm honored. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're the only one who said yes, so yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure there's a long lineup behind me.
But I think that's one of the great qualities about you. You're always like, it's like, yep, let's go, let's do it, kind of thing. I think that's an approach you've had to guitar building, and it's one of the reasons why I reached out to you first, because it's like Josh would be a good guest to get this thing going and lay the foundation for which no one will be able to respond to.
Thanks, Trevor.
Set the bar high. So, yeah. So I mean, first things first. Like, how did you get into guitar building? What was kind of the first? Do you remember like the moment that you like said like, oh, I'm going to do this now?
Yeah, it was an interesting journey for me. I guess I started with fine art, and that was something that I wanted to do my whole life. And I had all my goals kind of set on being, having a gallery showing and being that was my goal. So
like a gallery, like an art gallery, like a fine art painting.
Yeah.
Like this is me, this is boom, my stuff's on the wall.
Totally.
Wine glasses clinking, like
basically.
Josh.
Yes. Yeah. Basically that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just mixed media stuff, painting, traditional stuff, and it was around. I was probably around 16 when I started actually playing guitar.
Oh, okay.
And it was in my last year of high school that I really picked it up, and it just sort of clicked for me that it was something that I had not really explored and was an outlet that I wanted to explore and was giving back to me a lot.
Okay.
It was very therapeutic. And I started working at the thrift store. I was doing like repair work and whatnot, just pricing these guitars, and just being able to interact with them on a more intimate level than just my dad's acoustic guitar in the living room kind of showed me like, oh, this is actually like a really fun outlet for my creative abilities.
Yeah.
And it didn't take me long to start having some gears turning in my head of like, well, what would I do? If I wanted to build something, what would it look like? How would it feel? What would it sound like? So yeah, this is the Orion 6, which is one of my models that you've had in the shop for a little while now. This particular guitar was part of like a first run for me. This was actually the first Orion 6. And I really wanted to just go all out with this guitar and really kind of test new waters. I went with a neck-through construction, which allows me to do all of this nice access to the upper frets on the back of the guitar.
Mm-hmm, beautiful.
This is a 7-piece kind of multi-laminate neck. So predominantly maple, eastern maple. It's a nice hardwood, very stable. We've got wenge in the center strip, which is going to just help with stiffness in that truss rod channel. And then some walnut for just the aesthetics of it. The body is black limba, and the top is a really nice zircode book match there. We've got a Macassar ebony fingerboard, tan bridge hardware, Seymour Duncan black winter neck and bridge set. And what I opted for with these guitars, at least the first run, was to just go simple electronics but effective electronics.
Okay.
I wanted to have one volume, one tone, so that you just have the simplicity, you're not fussing around with too much, and then giving you the option of a coil split in that tone pot so that you have a whole nother kind of plethora of sounds that you can get out of the guitar.
One of the best parts about I think about your guitars is just how I mean it's I'll use cocky as a word, but like your back plate's clear. Like that's one of my favorite parts is kind of showing just like every little like usually the control cavity is one of the last things considered in the build, and it's kind of messy, and there's solder joints and things like that. But you're showcasing how attentive you are to every little detail, and like, yeah, even the wiring is like should be showcased kind of thing as a piece of art, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I come from a background of if you're going to do it right.
Yeah.
And I figured
Usually a good approach.
Yeah, like it just seemed like a shame to just finish the guitar. The electronics are the last thing that kind of goes into it, after, barring the setup, and you're just going to slap stuff in there and willy-nilly spaghetti wiring, and then you're going to cover it all up, and that's totally fine if no one ever looks inside the guitar. But somewhere down the road something might go wrong, and you're going to open it up and you're going to be like, this nice instrument that I paid a lot of money for is
kind of cobbled together.
It's
and
cobbled
just like,
together, yeah, and
just get it out the door.
It just kind of, I think, breaks trust for the quality of the instrument in the whole, because you're like, oh, well, if they cut corners here, where else did they cut corners? It just speaks to the builder in their ethos of what their design is on a whole. So I just want everything to show love and attention to detail, and a lot of care goes into each of these instruments. I just really want to honor the craft of guitar building with everything I do.
Yeah. So what about this guy? This one we've seen, but I want to bring in this other guy here.
This Orion is just like a newer guitar. This was the first one. This is the second one. So between those times, I think I definitely had stepped up my game just in terms of like the quality of the craftsmanship. I really wanted to. I actually built this guitar for myself, so I chose woods for this that I thought were going to just be right for my kind of style and what I wanted aesthetically. I also moved into a new finish, so I was using just straight oil, and now I'm using an oil and wax-based finish.
Nice. Just say it kind of fills in the pores a bit more and kind of builds up a bit faster?
It totally does. It fills in the pores more. It just provides a little bit more protection, gives an even or a more even finish to the instrument.
So take us down from the headstock, because like I've noticed even the hardware is a bit different on this one.
Yeah, totally. So this hardware is still Tanbridge, but this is like a fixed base plate design. So rather than each tuner be individual, bolted onto the guitar, it's all fixed into a plate. So it just gives a little bit more stability, a little bit more kind of consistency. Same electronics layout, same general kind of design. I just made a few tweaks to this guitar that were just kind of to my own taste. Like I like a bigger neck on my guitars.
Yep.
It's just a personal thing. So but the big changes were that, just like some finer details that I'm excited to continue to build on in the future.
Let's do a rapid fire spec rundown. So like take it like flame maple neck.
Yeah. So this guitar, that one had Eastern maple. This one has Western flame maple. So it's a noticeably lighter wood.
Yeah.
Alder body, still Wenge in the multi-laminate, still a 7-piece multi-laminate. And a really beautiful figured Pau Ferro top on this guitar.
Oh, cool.
2 DiMarzio humbuckers that I custom ordered. There's a PIF Pro in the neck, a Steve Special in the bridge, and they're just fantastic. I love them. And yeah, this guitar I'm really happy with. I wanted it light but really playable and still having a big sound, and I think it came out to 5.4 ounces.
Yeah, the way you're gripping it is like, it's like, oh yeah, it's like you could almost just pinch it and pick it up kind of thing, so it's not going to be a shoulder buster.
Totally. Yeah. 5 pounds, 4 ounces, I should say.
Those ounces will kill you,
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like, you really just don't feel it. Like, it's just really easy.
Oh, man. I grew up with like a Les Paul Custom that's like a solid 12 pounds. So this is like, whenever I pick up your guitars, they're kind of like, oh, this is an option to just not have something that's going to destroy my neck. Like that's, I think that's where Headless like starts to really shine, and that's the first thing you pick. You kind of like, that's really cool. You pick it off the shelf. You're like, oh, it's so light. Like,
yeah,
it's a real draw for people.
Yeah, all of the guitars that I make that are headless are all around like the 6 pound mark or under. Like it's really just a difference in the design that is hard to beat. Like the ergonomics are just so good. So with the Sentient, I really just wanted to honor that kind of like S-type look and design. So the double cutaway, I've made a few tweaks to it over the years, and I'm settling in on a pretty good one. I'd say the biggest thing is, I just wanted like upper fret access, 24 frets to be as easy as possible. Yep. So you can just get up there, there's nothing holding you back. Still super light, the balance is still the same on this guitar. But yeah, just same electronics layout, just a real workhorse of a guitar. This particular one is my first bolt-on headless design. So I was really excited to play around with the neck construction and just sort of feel how that would look and feel under the hands. And still that new finish, and playing around with neck profiles. I'd say it's like
it looks a little bit thinner, just even from the side profile, like just
definitely.
Well, I mean, as opposed to the one that's custom for you, of course, but
definitely.
It just seems a bit more, just a nice symmetrical C shape. If you could talk to headless guitar hardware manufacturers, is there something you would say? Because like, from what just my little toe into the pool, it's kind of like there's either cheap stuff that's just going to fall apart as soon as you put it on your guitar, or it's crazy expensive. Like, what's been your experience with that as kind of a builder, more in depth with it?
I have seen a lot actually crop up over the years. Like even just in the last 7 years or so, like there's been more and more stuff out there. Like more and more big brands are actually manufacturing guitars on a larger scale that are headless, and they're in the Long McQuades, and they're in the Tom Lee Music and stuff like that. So when I started, there was nothing in the Western Hemisphere. Like it was just like you had to get it in from Europe or Asia. And so it's really cool to see it start to kind of like pick up a little bit more steam. As far as like the hardware manufacturing goes, like the demand will create more options for different price points and different options for innovation on that kind of hardware front. I'm starting to use this hardware now from Solo Guitars, which is a Canada-based company, and I'm really liking it. It's really stable. It's really slick. The functionality is all there. So I'll definitely kind of like continue to explore and try whatever is out there that is looking good and is sitting at a price point that I think is like the best value for what you're getting. I want all of my guitars to be of a really high quality, and so I'm not going to put anything on there that's really
cheap and flaky. It's going to fall off in a year kind of thing. All right, we're going to do a quick little rapid fire. So just gut reactions, and we're going to go. All right? Rosewood or ebony?
Ebony.
Stainless steel or nickel silver?
Ooh, nickel silver.
Painted or natural?
I prefer natural, personally.
Yeah. Hardtail or tremolo?
Hardtail.
Yeah. Les Paul or Telly?
Telly.
Telly or Strat?
Strat.
Strat or Les Paul?
Strat.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, I mean, another question I was going to ask is, do you think that luthiers just get this uniform, or do we have to earn it? like flannel T-shirt and everything. It looks like the Red Green show right now.
No, to be clear,
If you're going to come to guitar shows, it's going to be like, yep.
To be clear, we didn't coordinate this.
No, but that's what I'm saying is it's just kind of like, well, this is what I wear now.
Yeah.
And you brush the dust out of your hair.
Yeah, definitely coming out of the woodwork, so to speak.
Yeah. Cough a bit.
Yeah, I know. I think it definitely attracts a similar type of person.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Is there like a little piece of advice you kind of give an earlier version of yourself, or maybe like a aspiring luthier coming out of the woodwork?
Yeah, totally. I would say definitely just like take your time and enjoy the process. I really enjoyed the process of designing these models and making sure that I was really happy with them. And maybe if I was to go back and tell an earlier version of myself, just getting started, I would say, like, this is a process.
Yeah.
You don't just settle on a design. You don't just settle on, like, this is the way I do things. Every single step of the way with guitar building is a challenge, and you have to challenge yourself. Whether it's something that you mess up and you need to learn how to fix, maybe it's a new type of wood that just doesn't carve the way you're used to, and you have to try something else.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just with actual specifications of the design that you're just not happy with and you want to make changes to. Like, you just have to be fluid and be willing to adapt as you move forward.
Yeah. There's definitely an openness is going to be a strength over than a weakness for sure.
For sure.
So. Well, Josh, that's been awesome. I mean, it's always fun having your stuff in the shop here because it's just it stands out from the crowd in every way you can imagine. The sound, the feel, the look, and everything.
Thank you.
I'm really excited to see what comes through the woodwork in future years. If going down bass territory or doing some contemporary designs. I mean, even if the Orion just kind of continues to evolve as it's going, bolt on different woods. I think it's been 3 years, but you're only just getting started, kind of thing. So
Absolutely.
Really excited to see what comes out next, and thanks for coming down.
Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, my pleasure.